Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are safe, sound and healthy and you are studying too. As you know that since the beginning of this pandemic we are having online lectures students. So please don't waste time unnecessarily anywhere. Just try to have more and more classes of your lectures. Okay, view all the lectures properly and thoroughly. Okay, because once you miss any part of any subject, you will face difficulty in your next class. So it's better you should study student, because there is no option right now. You have to study and you have to learn so many different terms, scientific or technical, so that you can grasp more and more details about that particular thing. So it's better students that you should learn, you should study. Okay, so hope you all are doing well and hope you are doing practice also of different questions on ORE Learn. Okay, so just move. Now we'll move on to the chapter, that is chapter number 1. Basics of Information Technology. This is our chapter student which we had begin. Okay, and this is a theory chapter plus a lengthy chapter, and all the basic terms are related for your learning purpose are in this chapter only. That's why it is Basics of Information Technology students. You have to remember the terms students. Okay, so if you don't remember the terms, you won't be able to understand things. So it's better you should watch each and every lecture of every teacher. Okay, and work hard, study well. Okay, so in the last lecture we have finished with the internet and the history of internet. Okay, now let's move on to the new topic, that is the protocols. Protocols. What do you mean by protocols, students? Can anybody tell me? Anybody know the general meaning? I know you cannot answer right now because we are not having any interaction. Okay, but at least you can think. At least you can think that what is the meaning of protocol, the general meaning of protocols. You might have heard this word. Okay, when we talk general things also, we apply this protocol, that you have to follow the protocols. The protocols has been given, means you have to follow the protocols. Okay, students, so what do you mean by a protocol? A system of rules that explain the correct conduct and procedures to be followed in formal situations. That is the protocol, students. The rules which you have to follow, okay, to have a communication, okay, to have a proper, you can say, the conduct. You have to follow the protocols. Protocols in general term, we can see the rules and regulations. Okay, basically here it means rules, the system of rules. So if you don't follow these rules, okay, you won't be able to be, means there are protocols for everything. That means if you want to live in a society, you have to follow certain protocols. If you want to live somewhere else, but you have to follow the protocols of that particular location. Okay, if you want to study in the college or in the universities, you have to follow the protocols of them. If you don't follow, they may throw out. The university or the college may suspend you because of the bad behavior, because you are not following the protocols, you are not following the rules. Okay, so in general terms, we can say the protocols, what does it mean? A system of rules that explain the correct conduct and procedures to be followed in formal situations. Okay, this is the general meaning. Then when we talk about the technical terms, students, protocols is what? Protocol is a set of rules that governs the communications between computers on a network. Okay, just remember this, it is a set of rules, students. The It is a set of rules that governs the communication between computers on a network. This is, we are talking with the technical terms, students. Technically, we are speaking about the protocols. The general meaning is what this. It is a system of rules that explain the correct behavior, correct conduct, and procedures or the rules to be followed. Okay, whenever or wherever you are. Okay, so according to the particular the organization or the society, whichever protocols they have led, you have to adhere to those protocols. You have to follow those rules. Okay, so a protocol is a set of rules that governs the communications between computers on a network. In order to have two computers to communicate or to talk to each other, they must be speaking the same language. Means what here, students? The same language. In order to have the computers to talk to each other or to communicate to each other, that means to pass the information, okay, to, we can say, the pass the data, okay, to transmit the data, to transmit the information, okay. They must be speaking the same language. Same language is means what here, students? You know that computer understands the binary language. Binary language is what, students? The zeros and ones. Okay, so zeros and ones, they have been converted by the ASCII, that is the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so you here what you have to understand, students. I'll just give you the example that if two persons are there, one is understanding and he is speaking and understanding very well Hindi or English, whereas the another one, he doesn't know anything about English. He only understands his language. Maybe it is, we can say, the Telugu or Hindi. Okay, so what happens here? The communication is not at all possible. Okay, so there should be one language, one medium, okay, of a common language should be there. That means they both are understanding. If one is understanding Hindi and one is understanding Telugu, and nobody between them is understanding any other language apart from that, so there should be some language they should know, okay, so to communicate. So as you all know that English is a universal language, so at least the person should understand and speak English, okay, in a way to have a communication. Or else a person has to learn the other person's language, or the other person has to learn the first person's language, because if they don't understand anything, so communication is not at all possible. Getting, students? So to have the communication, at least there should be something, some rules they have to, follow, so that they can communicate with each other. Okay, if one is understanding Hindi and another is understanding Telugu only, so it's very difficult to have a communication. So there should be something, okay, in between, or there should be an intermediary to translate. Okay, if it's not possible for anybody to speak any other language or to understand any other, so there should be somebody in between. Okay, so that person can translate the another person's language to first person, or the first person language to second person. Okay, so in this way only the communication is possible. So here we can see, students, that in order to have two computers to talk to each other, they must be speaking the same language. Same language means here, students, the binary language which only computer understands. Okay, so there are processes, we can say the ASCII is one of the term, that is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It is very beneficial, okay, to have the communication between two computers. Okay, next is what, students? We'll just see the examples of protocols. Some or the few examples we can say about the protocols, because the communication is possible because of the protocols. That is the rules of system over the network, because everybody has to follow certain rules, students. Without following the rules, nobody can have the communication. If we talk about in general terms, if we talk, that means if you are living in particular society, so there are some protocols that how you have to live in the society. If you are not following that, the society may throw you out. Okay, that means you have to be very, well mannered. Your conduct should be good. You should not have any bad habit. You should not, you should not be a threat to a society like this. Okay, so here, students, the protocols are very much necessary to have the communication when we talk about the technology wise. Okay, so here we can say, in order to have the communication possible, the computer should understand or speak the same language. So here, the first example which we are going to see, students, here is, number one is TCP/IP. TCP/IP, students, I had explained you this in history of internet, transmission control protocol and internet protocol. Now this transmission control protocol and internet protocol, what it does, students, it breaks down the message into packets and send them out into the network. The main task of TCP/IP is what? That is the internet. TCP/IP is also called as the internet, students. So here what happens? It breaks down the message into packets. TCP/IP breaks down the message into packets. And sends them over the network. Okay, so here what happened here, student, TCP/IP is the transmission control protocol and internet protocol. Because of these, students, your internet is possible. So what they do, they break down the message, whatever message a person or sender is sending to the receiver. The message is broken down into different packets, small packets, and then it is transferred over the internet so that the recipient can collect, and then again it is towards the receiving end, it again converts into the message and it is received by the receiver. So this is the TCP/IP. We'll just see if we can have any diagram of TCP/IP. TCP/IP is in the OSI layer model. Okay, students. Look this. What happens here? Data is being transferred back and forth from the sender to the receiver and from the receiver to the sender. Okay, students. So this is the model of TCP/IP. And TCP/IP. Data is getting transferred. Okay, so there is not any more examples, the same thing. Okay, now we'll just see the next one. The next one is your DNS, domain naming system. DNS, that is domain name system. TCP/IP is transmission control protocol. and Internet Protocol. Okay, domain name system. Now, what does domain name system means? Here, what happens here in the students? It translates network address such as IP addresses into terms understood by humans. Okay, so such as domain names and vice versa. That means if on the network address we are putting, like, we want to search any website, google.com. Okay, so google.com, it is having what? The domain name as .com. So here what here students, it translates the network address. I'll just show you. It translates the network address. Which is understood by humans, because whenever you are typing any address, students, like HTTP and then www, HTTP, like this, and the different, because you know that computer understands only the binary language, so it has IP address 192.168.1 like this, so it converts that into the network address so that it can be understood by the humans. Okay, we'll just see if we get any diagram, or we can see the information about the DNS, domain name system. It is giving the name to your different types of file system DNS request mail.google.com. Here what students, all the numeric is what convert, or it gets translated to the human understandable format. Okay, so that's why it is called domain naming system. Look here, the root name server is 198.4 and this one org is having this number, Wikipedia has this number. Okay, so these numbers have been converted by the domain naming system. Okay students, so that's why what we can easily understand, okay, this file is having this domain naming system and what we are searching for. Okay, so this is DNS, domain naming system. It is giving the name to your domain. It is basically for resolution of the names. Okay, domain naming, that's why it translates the network address, means whatever the numbering is there, so it converts into the format in such a way so that users can understand, the human can understand, and vice versa also. That means which is understood by the computer also, and whatever the humans users are typing, okay, the like in letters, it is getting translated into numeric so that it can be understood by the computers. Okay, when it gets converted into the binary numbers. Okay, so next one is what? Third one is your DHCP. DHCP. What is DHCP, students? DHCP is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Here what happens, it automatically assigns the internet addresses to computers and users. DHCP. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. it automatically assigns internet addresses to computers and users. Okay, so we don't have to assign any address. Automatically it is done by, means dynamically we can say, means configuration is done dynamically. So as soon as the address is typed, okay, so it is configured automatically or assigned automatically to computers and the users. We'll just see DHCP. Look students, these are the very important terms. DHCP. IP address database, this is DHCP server. Subnet A. I know it's very difficult for you to understand because it's very advanced thing. Only the very basic thing has been given in your textbook, only one single line, and it's very difficult for you to make you understand with just a single line. That's why I'm showing you the diagrams. At least with the help of diagram you can understand, because it's a very vast thing. The protocols is a very vast topic. It cannot be explained in 1 or 2 lines, students. Okay, so here what I'm just showing you the diagram so that at least some idea you can get. If you go for the further studies in the technology, students, in the network, you have the one book on the protocols, 300 to 400 pages books. Okay, so here we just see IP address is given. Okay, database, then here what DHCP server is there. Client 1, client 2, client 3 and client 4. The router is there. Now what what it is doing, it is assigning the address, or it automatically assign the internet address to computers and the users. Okay, just see this one also. Here the address is there. These are the internet address, students. So DHCP server is assigning the address to the computers and the users. Getting it? Client server. Means at the time when the user is accessing any website over the internet, the user doesn't have to send the address, or the computer doesn't have to send the address. It is automatically assigned by the DHCP. That's why it is called as dynamic host configuration protocol. It configures automatically the address to the computers or the users. Fourth one. Fourth is your FTP. FTP is file transfer protocol. By the name itself, students, you can understand. It is used to transfer the file, to upload the file, to manipulate the file over the internet or on the internet. A protocol that is used to transfer and manipulate files on the internet. That is your file transfer protocol. With the help of FTP, you can upload the file, you can download the file over the internet. Okay, so that's why FTP, very important protocol, students, to transfer the file over the internet. FTP. This is user. Then the user interface, control process, data transfer process. This is the client. The user is accessing this. So this is the client machine, students. Here TCP/IP is in between, because TCP/IP means what, students? Internet. Okay, so without internet you cannot transfer the file to the server. And the control connection, data connection. The control process and data transfer process is going on because with the help of the FTP. See this one. This is data connection. This is the FTP commands, FTP replies. And this is FTP server, file transfer server. So in this way, the transfer of file takes place. Because here what students need to upload the file over the internet or to download from the internet, you need to have what? The FTP, and FTP is what? File transfer protocol, but it is not possible without TCP/IP, because TCP/IP makes you internet students. So here, hope you've understood this, why we need the FTP to transfer the file. See, this is the cycle, file transfer protocol cycle. This is client. Client is transferring file over the internet. This is the firewall. This is the security procedure to block the viruses. And the server. Then server what? What server is doing, students? Here the file is getting uploaded or downloaded, okay, with the help of the server to the client or for the client. This is the FTP, file transfer protocol. So to transfer the file over the internet or to manipulate the files on the internet, we need what? The file transfer protocol. So hope you've understood this, students. There are more protocol, students, but we'll see that in the next lecture, inshallah. So here we have studied today how many protocols? TCP/IP, DNS, that is domain name system, then dynamic host configuration, and file transfer protocol. And the remaining one, inshallah, we'll see in the next lecture. So hope you've understood this. Look, students, these are the technical terms. It will take time for you to understand, okay, to grasp it or to learn them. So that's why I'm telling you, just watch the lectures properly again and again, because these terms are going to be repeated in further your class and in further chapters also. So, and these protocols are basically for networks. Okay, when you work on the networks, computer networks, these terms are very common. You have to understand these terms. So hope you've understood this. So until then, just stay blessed, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.